So here's a couple fishing stories with my dad. So the last time I went fishing with my dad, my wife's father owned a pontoon boat. So I took my dad fishing, and he was a really good fisherman. Kind of looked like the old man in the sea when he was out there. Real dark tan, white hair, and just fishing through all kinds of weather. That's the way he was. So we had been fishing all day. We didn't catch anything. I mean, it's just awful. And I was ready to go in, and Dad said, "Let's stop right here. Let's go fishing right here." This is right there, Ormond Beach Bridge. And I said, "Okay." So he threw his line in. He prayed. And I kid you not, it was within 15 minutes. He had this big old drum on the other end of this line. I got a picture of that downstairs in my house, Dad holding that fish up. Well, there's some other stories too. So my dad, while he was a great singer, songwriter, musician, bass player, guitar player, minister, father, husband, all these wonderful things, he was not a mechanic or mechanically inclined in any way, shape, or form. So we didn't really have money to buy a nice boat, so he gets this boat, and he wanted to put some seats in it. So he screws the seats down in the floor and went out in the boat, and water was coming up through the floor. That was one thing. Another time, me and my mom and my dad went shrimping down in New Smyrna Beach. If you take some lamps at night when the shrimp are running, you can sit there and dip them out one at a time. Dad's sitting there. We're shrimping and fishing all night, just having a good time. Mom never would go with him because every time she went out in the boat, something would happen. So this night was no different. We get ready to leave. It's stuck in reverse, and it won't turn. The cables were messed up. And Dad was trying to work on it. And the more he tried to work on it, the harder we laughed. And the more upset he got at us, the harder we laughed. Until my mom never went back out with my dad again. Well, one time, Dad and I were fishing over on the Daytona Beach side of the jetties. And he's sitting there catching fish like crazy. Well, I was getting really sick because the waves we're out in the ocean side now. The Atlantic Ocean. The waves we were in a little tiny boat, and the waves were just like throwing us all over the place. And it's starting to rain now, so it's cold, and the boat won't start. Well, Dad's not the least bit concerned because he's saved. I'm not saved. I'm sitting there thinking, great, And he's not even worried. And that's when he really reminded me of The Old Man in the Sea, that book. And I just remember saying, "Dad, we got to go." But these other guys were chumming the waters, which is illegal. But Dad was throwing his fish over his line over where they were chumming the waters. He was pulling them in left and right. And so finally, after much belly aching and complaining, because I was getting sick because we were going up and down and sideways and left and right, we finally got these guys to give us a jump. And we went back in. So that's some fish stories with my dad.